Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our Ninjas and Super Spies pinpoint overview on the martial arts. Now, the martial arts introduced in this book are not for every table. So, should you use them? Should you not use them? Should you cherry pick them? Use some, but not others. Well, we're going to talk about all that right after this.
We welcome all people, regardless of background, belief, or identity, to play tabletop role-playing games. Let's engage our imaginations, pull a veil over reality, and immerse ourselves in fantastic worlds. Don't be a disruption at the table, and always remember, it's just a game. The charity we support is the Wounded Warrior Project, a national, nonpartisan organization whose mission is to honor and empower wounded warriors. Please refer to the description below for the link to where you can make your hopefully tax-deductible donation. Join us Thursday and Saturday evenings on twitch.tv/legionofmyth to watch Heathen Dog and his team of dirty casuals play multiplayer games for your mockery and enjoyment. Here on our YouTube channel, you can watch these game-related segments live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time, or check out the Friday night stream where our panel of guests opine, comment, and editorialize on the TTRPG hobby as a whole. Please leave us a comment with your thoughts and experiences. If you enjoy our gaming content, please be sure to subscribe to Legion of Myth.
Can we get the...
Yeah. So I was looking this issue up from the last video.
Okay, so how do you use this in your game? How do you introduce all of the martial arts abilities, powers, and moves, combat maneuvers into your Heroes Unlimited, TMNT, After the Bomb? For me, I think this stuff would even work in other Palladium games that are more or less based on the now time, you know. But how would you do that? Well, there's two polar examples. Use everything or use nothing. Don't do it at all. But using everything, as a game master, I can't say that's a good idea, not out of the gate, because your players, you know your players, and do your players even use tactics? They just go in there and pew pew, fight, and that's it, right? Well, then this is all going to be, lost on them. Also, you don't have to use every single one of these 47 martial arts, 41 martial arts forms. In fact, some of them are restricted. One of them is just for women. One of them can only be learned in a certain Tibetan monastery. One of them is only taught to Okinawan nationals on Okinawa. And several other of them have limitations as well. So you, as a game master, you get to pick and choose which of these styles you want in your game, because you create the circumstance that makes them impossible or possible to learn. That gets around some of your players trying to abuse the system just for numbers. Oh, which one of these gives me the most attacks per round, or the best dodge, or the best parry, or death strike earliest, stuff like that.
That's absolutely what I ran across.
That's what he ran across. But you are the game master. You choose which one of these they can learn. Some of these they cannot learn if they're the wrong race, if they're the wrong gender, if they're born in the wrong part of the world. They are not going to be able to learn some of these. You have the choice of where you want to put your campaign, where on the planet you want your campaign to be, or what the player's specific organization is willing to teach them. So you get to choose what goes in your game as far as form wise. Well, what about the special maneuvers? Do I want to use those or not? Well, that's up to you. Some of these special maneuvers seem a little OP. Let's look at them. They're on page 127 for the PDF. Some of these may seem OP, like here, this one right here, automatic body flip throw. This to me is super OP. Certain martial artists can do a body flip throw in place of a parry. That means that instead of a blocking or deflecting a blow, the character attempts to leverage the attacker's own force into a flip. Success requires beating the attacker's strike, just like a parry, using the bonuses for body flip only. Failure means taking full damage, and you cannot roll with punch impact.
Aikido.
The implication of this is that if you successfully body flip throw someone, automatically, without spending an action, they lose initiative and one action. Sorry. And you've spent nothing. That's very powerful in close quarters combat. Very powerful. You now greatly control the tempo of this battle.
Now, there are special maneuvers that actually help the other person, if a martial artist, not suffer those penalties. I can't remember what it is in there, but it might be that breakfall one, might be something else, but where the person can actually remain standing and doesn't lose the action. So you can automatically parry him, but because he's not a scrub, he just stands up and you're still going at each other. It's that cinematic flair. The Eric and Kevin put in the cinematic flair, but you have to have the martial arts that lets you do that also.
Exactly. Now, so like I said, some of these you're going to want in your game. Some of these maybe you're a little wary. Like, oh no, the automatic flip is way too OP for my table. Substitute with something else. You're the game master, you can do that. The multiple dodge is way too OP. Let's see what multiple dodge is. Dodge. Multiple dodge is the ability to dodge all incoming attacks no matter where they're coming from. In other words, it's effective against even rear attacks. You don't have to see the attacker to dodge his attack. From above, from below, from behind. Doesn't matter. You can dodge it. You still have to roll, but you can dodge it. This is far stronger than a regular dodge where you have to not only know the attack is coming, but be facing the attacker, be able to see the attack. Then you can dodge it. Not with multiple dodge. And the big deal in this is automatic dodge is now available to those who are not in rifts and who don't have superpowers.
Well, this is before rifts.
Well, I know you know what I mean. Because automatic dodge is extremely rare outside of superpowers and rifts or stuff like that. But it is also more restrictive than the normal auto dodges that you're used to. Comes with restrictions. First, it works only for attacks that the character is aware of, not against rear or surprise attacks. That's what multiple dodge is for. Next, the automatic dodge does use one melee attack, and it must be the character's first attack of the melee round. You're like, what? That's what I said when I first read. I was like, what? Then it's not automatic. And what if your character loses initiative? Sorry, you can't use automatic dodge against the first attack because you have to have a higher initiative than your attacker to even use this automatic dodge. I don't like this. In my campaign, if you got automatic dodge, it works like the Rifts version of automatic dodge. Any attack you can see, you get a free dodge attempt.
Yeah, I think it's because that this has the ability to
be abused and be too OP. I get it. I do. I get it. But me as GM, I'm using my authority here to say no. The second restriction does not apply. Stuff like that.
Do you mind looking up an ability? Well, once you get through this, looking up a circular parry, and there's a reason for that one because it's often cited as automatic parry, but
it is not
because of a certain aspect that's written in there, but it's not. It's circular parry should just be under parry, I think.
It is. I'm just trying to find the P's without going too far. Circular parry. The main idea here is that the martial artist can parry all attacks that come in regardless of direction. So long as the defender is aware of the attackers, there's no limit to how many blows can be parried. Works like an automatic parry. However, using a circular parry limits the character to only one attack strike per melee round. Several circular parries can be done per melee, just like normal parry. Okay, so it's a parry, but even from attacks from behind, kind of like multiple dodge. You can now dodge attacks you can't rightly see, but know are there. As long as you know an attacker is behind you, you can parry the attack using circular parry. But if you use circular parry, you can only use one attack in that round, one actual attack. But you can use all the circular parries you want, just like regular parry. Use all of them that you want. Now, in this book, it does not say anywhere like it did in first edition Palladium, stuff like that, that you can only use a number of parries, even if they're automatic, equal to 3 or the number of hand-to-hand attacks you have, whatever. It does not say it anywhere in this book. You can use any number of parries. You can parry any number of attacks. Any number. Doesn't matter. Okay, so what about the super magical, super not so pseudo magical powers? Well, let's look at those. Some of these you may want, some of these you may not want. It depends on your game. The arts of invisibility. Do your characters commonly use stealth tactics? If so, they're going to want these. But some of them may be a little too OP, like mystic invisibility. Let's check that one out. This one is the super like end ninja thing. The character learns to use chi, gross, to cloud the minds of observers. Unlike the chi mastery abilities, this gives the character no other control over chi. Good. It is oriented toward the single purpose of deceiving the opponent. The most amazing thing about this is that the character can simply stand in full view, stare into the eyes of the enemy, and cease to exist. Now, this is based on certain philosophies that if you stand really still or stand really still in a certain way, it causes the human brain to gloss over you. Because the in your vision, you don't see everything all the time. Your brain would overheat. Your brain actually shuts off some stimuli just to in an attempt to make your reaction and stuff like that faster. So if you can slip into that part of your brain that is being glossed over in your sight, then you can turn invisible even when in full view of your enemy. Now, is that something that'll work in your campaign at your table? That's up to you as a GM. You got to choose that. Well, what about something else? What about the Atemi abilities? Some of these, especially Dim Mak, may not work in your campaign. Let's go find out what the Dimmy Mak does.
What? I can't death blow you?
That's exactly right. Sometimes you just can't death blow you. Dim Mak, available to characters that are only get it in this martial art form, but they get it automatically at level 1. They get the Dim Mak. I believe it's level 1. I believe they get it automatically right away. Only 3 other martial art forms make Dim Mak available, and that's 7th level, 12th level, 11th level, depending on which one you get.
Oh, there's China.
Any other martial art form, you cannot take Dim Mak. And what Dim Mak does is it drains your chi to 0. And when you are at 0 chi, according to this book, the way chi works, you can no longer heal and you can no longer fight off disease or sickness, which means you are going to die very slowly and very painfully. And this book does not give a cure for the Dim Mak. It's up to the game master and the player to find a cure for it if it's possible at all. Now, do you want that in your game? Maybe, maybe not. It'll even work on characters who are invulnerable because Dim Mak does no damage. It alters your flow of chi. That's it. So it is very powerful. It won't kill the person right there. You Dim Mak and then you run. Death will handle your opponent on its own.
For a few days.
Yeah, a few days, he's going to suffer and die. Do you want that in your game? You have to decide. Now, what about the super duper magic abilities? What about the where is it? The body hardening stuff. Now, this body hardening stuff in a game like Heroes Unlimited, this is not very impactful. But maybe in TMNT or After the Bomb, this would be a little. This may be outside of game balance because it does give you some decent bonuses right out of the gate.
Generally speaking, no, it does not, except for when you combine it with things. Now, beyond the supernatural, I think it probably would. But for purposes of TMNT, if you're playing a turtle character that already has SDC, it was 120 SDC, armor rating 18 turtle shell, just as an example, as long as you're not stacking them, you're fine. Fine. You're playing a cat and you took this. So they don't, by themselves, they're not overpowered. It's the stacking of them that can get overpowered. I just didn't allow stacking.
Okay, well that's fine. But a lot of these things, Stone Ox gives you +2 to your physical endurance and 25 SDC. Is that a lot? Maybe. It depends on what other physical skills you get. How much SDC do you get from your OCC? How much do you get from other physical abilities? Again, these bonuses are meant to stack. SDC bonuses, PP donut bonuses, physical strength bonuses, through all these skills, they do stack according to Palladium. So if you choose the right ones, you could turn yourself OP. Iron Hand gives you +1 to physical strength, +2 to damage on all hand strikes, regardless of the form, and +5 to SDC, because you've trained your hands to be hard. You've trained your hands to do more damage. So that's going to affect everything across the board. Wrist hardening. This allows you to escape arm holds without breaking your without breaking your wrist or whatever, without breaking your joints. Damn Some Sing, a combination of strength and endurance building exercise, gives you +1 to physical strength, +1 to PE, and +10 to SDC. All of these on their own are not super significant, but a couple of these plus the right skills can possibly unbalance your character. It's possible. So you, as a game master, you have to be aware of this and see it coming and make sure your players understand that if you try and min-max this stuff, I'm going to bring the hammer down on that real damn quick. And then we look at the we're not looking at chi mastery because that's stupid. We're not doing that. And there's a lot of it here, but the martial arts techniques, spectacular and secret martial arts skills require years of dedication and practice. Once learned, any of these skills can be used in conjunction with any martial art form. Okay, let's do the one life, one shot, one hit, one kill. This is what this does. In spite of the long name, which it is, the skill does one simple thing. It allows the character to focus entirely on the result of a single shot. Here's what it does. The character starts by concentrating one full melee, 15 seconds, on one target. By the beginning of the next melee, the character will have a +1 to strike. Every full round they are concentrating on the target, they get an accumulating +1 bonus to hit. That means if the person is not moving away for, say, 5 minutes, you can get an ungodly number of bonuses to strike, basically guaranteeing a hit. But if you do anything else, or the person gets out of range of whatever attack you're using, it's foiled. If you are attacked and successfully attacked with a certain amount of damage, which I don't see immediately, you are foiled. Your concentration is broken and you lose all your bonuses. But in very specific circumstances, this is and can be an OP ability. Guaranteed hit. No matter what. No matter how strong they are, no matter how weak you are, you can guarantee a hit as long as they don't move a whole lot and they don't see you. So this power plus a stealth power like mystic invisibility, well, you have all the time in the world because no one's going to find you. No one can see you. You have all the time in the world to aim. You're going to hit. It makes assassination very easy. Is that something you want in your game? Maybe, maybe not. So that is going to be it for this segment. Next segment, we're going to talk about how to introduce this to your table. Is it even for your table? What to look for to see if it's going to be well received or just they're going to look at you like you've got 5 years. So what do we have for comments?
I got some comments about my neighbors playing music at like 9 million decibels right now. Well, I can, and I can't hear you over it.
Oh, wow.
Luckily, my noise gate is working well here. But very few martial arts provide auto flip throw.
Jiu-jitsu, aikido, and one other one off the top of my head. They all provide the auto flip.
The bonus body flip are often lower than automatic body flip throw. That's aikido, for example.
The difference between a maneuver and an automatic maneuver in the form of bonuses is the bonuses to a dodge and an auto dodge do not stack with each other. For example, the bonus to dodge is your dodge bonus plus your physical prowess bonus. Add that together, that's your total dodge bonus. An auto dodge is your physical prowess bonus plus any auto dodge bonuses, not regular dodge, auto dodge. The same is true for a body flip. There are bonuses for body flip and bonuses for automatic body flip. They do not combine. So that means usually the automatic body flip is actually the lower of the odds, but you make up for that by not spending an action to try.
Can't wait for Heathen Dog to see Rift Japan mega damage version of these, where you can block mega damage blast with your wrists. And Heathen Dog's already done.
I've done Rift Japan. I didn't go into the martial arts there a whole lot. It was an overview. I chose to skip it. But yeah, I mean, hey, if you're going to Rifts, you got to up your game, right? I understand the need for that kind of game balance change. I get it. That's it.
All right, I think nope. I got to go talk to some neighbors. So everybody take a break. Unless you want to start the segment. No, I can't deal with this.
Okay.
So right. I'll be back in a moment.
All right. While he's doing that, you guys like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.